chosen ones. Something's happening right under your nose that nobody's telling you about. Your friends, the people you trust, the ones you confide in, the faces you see every day, are locked in a war you didn't authorize, and you're the trophy. Right now, at this exact moment, someone you consider an ally is calculating their next move in a game where your energy is the grand prize and friendship is just the disguise they're wearing. They're not fighting for you, they're fighting over you. And the sickening part is that you've been radiating something so powerful, so magnetic, that it turned people you loved into competitors who mistake your light for their personal buffet. But here's what's about to shift everything. You're not the helpless prize they've convinced themselves you are. You're the apex predator who's been unconsciously setting a trap that will consume them all. What you're about to discover will shatter your understanding of every relationship you thought you knew. Psychological warfare has 3 stages, and you've been living through all of them without realizing the battlefield was your own life. By the end of this, you'll see how your divine frequency weaponized everyone around you, turning allies into assassins and confidants into opponents. And you'll understand why this chaos isn't happening to you, it's happening around you while you remain completely untouchable at the center of the storm. The moment you stepped into your power, everything changed. You became a walking target, but not the way weak-minded spiritualists talk about victimhood. You became the most dangerous force in every room you enter. Your so-called friends can smell the power radiating from your core like predators, detecting prey from miles away. What you're experiencing isn't random social drama. It's not petty jealousy or coincidental relationship problems. This is the inevitable biological response of inferior energies encountering a superior frequency they cannot match, cannot understand, and cannot resist trying to possess. Your energy signature operates like a cosmic beacon broadcasting one simple message: here stands someone who has what you lack. Every person in your orbit receives this transmission, whether they consciously recognize it or not. Their subconscious minds immediately begin calculating how to get closer to your source, how to extract your essence, how to claim ownership over something that was never meant to be shared. They sense that being near you provides access to a level of power they've never possessed independently. This creates an addiction more potent than any substance you could name. Here's the first revelation that will shift your entire perspective. They're not competing for your friendship, your love, or even your attention. They're competing for the right to drain you. Each person in your circle has unconsciously assigned themselves a role in an elaborate extraction operation designed to siphon your energy for their personal use. Some position themselves as your confidant to gain access to your emotional state. Others become your defender to control how others interact with you. A few volunteer as your advisor to influence your decisions. They're all parasites, but parasites with strategy. The competition began the moment multiple people realized simultaneously that proximity to you provided benefits they couldn't achieve alone. Your presence makes them feel more confident, more attractive, more successful, more worthy. When you're in a group, others naturally defer to your opinion. When you speak, people listen with an intensity they don't show anyone else. When you enter a room, the entire energy shifts to accommodate your frequency. Your friends notice these effects and mistakenly believed they could claim permanent access to this power by securing exclusive relationships with you. What started as innocent appreciation for your energy quickly transformed into possessive obsession as each person realized they weren't the only one who discovered your value. The friend who used to enjoy occasional coffee dates now needs weekly sessions to catch up. The colleague who occasionally asked for advice suddenly has constant crises requiring your intervention. The acquaintance who appreciated your wisdom begins positioning themselves as your spiritual equal, hoping to create a partnership that grants them permanent access to your insights. The first stage of psychological warfare is positioning. You've been watching it unfold without recognizing the battlefield. Each person in your circle has been methodically establishing themselves as uniquely valuable to you, while systematically diminishing everyone else's importance. They're not trying to destroy each other directly. That comes later. Right now, they're focused on becoming indispensable to you personally, creating artificial dependencies that they believe will secure their position as your primary source of human connection. watch how they operate. The friend who always has insider information about opportunities that could benefit you isn't being helpful. They're creating debt. Every piece of valuable information they provide comes with invisible strings attached, obligations that they'll collect on when the competition intensifies. The person who constantly offers to help with your projects isn't being generous. They're positioning themselves as your irreplaceable partner, hoping that collaboration creates permanent connection. The positioning phase reveals itself through increasingly obvious attempts to monopolize your energy and attention. Someone who used to respect your boundaries suddenly needs constant validation of their importance in your life. They start requiring detailed explanations when you spend time with others, demanding to know what you discussed and how it made you feel. They begin inserting themselves into conversations between you and other people, unable to tolerate any interaction that doesn't include them as a central participant. But here's what they fundamentally misunderstand about your nature. Your groundedness isn't a performance or a mask you wear. It's the bedrock of your being that threatens their entire worldview. They've built their identities on shaky foundations of external validation, social comparison, and borrowed confidence. Your self-sufficiency is a constant reminder that their approach to life is fundamentally flawed, and this recognition drives them to levels of desperation they never knew they possessed. Your calm, unshakable core operates like a mirror that reflects their deepest inadequacies back to them with uncomfortable clarity. When they see you moving through challenges without falling apart, making decisions without seeking approval, and maintaining your peace regardless of external chaos, it forces them to confront the painful reality of their own emotional instability. They cannot understand how you remain so composed when they are constantly battling inner turmoil. This incomprehension manifests as a mixture of admiration and resentment that poisons every interaction. The mirror effect becomes more pronounced as they observe your complete lack of need for the very things they crave most desperately. You don't broadcast your achievements or fish for compliments. You don't need constant reassurance about your worth or validation of your choices. You don't require an audience for your emotional experiences or external confirmation of your reality. This self-contained power represents everything they believe they should be, but fear they never will become. Watching you embody it effortlessly while they struggle just to maintain basic emotional equilibrium creates a cognitive dissonance that drives them toward increasingly irrational behavior. Here's where their strategy backfires. Your power doesn't respond to desperation, manipulation, or artificial scarcity. The more they try to control access to you, the more your energy naturally withdraws from them. Your intuition recognizes the extractive nature of their behavior, even when your conscious mind hasn't fully processed what's happening. This creates a feedback loop where their increasing desperation triggers your increasing distance, which intensifies their competitive behavior toward others. They mistake your natural composure for arrogance, your self-sufficiency for coldness, your boundaries for rejection. In their wounded interpretation, your refusal to play their validation games becomes evidence that you think you're superior to them. They cannot comprehend that your detachment isn't judgment, it's protection. You've unconsciously learned to withdraw your energy from people who approach you with extractive intent, because your soul recognizes the difference between those who appreciate your light and those who want to consume it. This misinterpretation fuels their resentment and drives them to increasingly desperate measures to prove that you're not as special as they perceive you to be. They begin searching for your flaws, your weaknesses, your moments of vulnerability, hoping to find evidence that you're just as broken and needy as they are. When they discover that you have struggles like everyone else, they don't respond with compassion or support. They respond with relief and satisfaction, as if your humanity somehow diminishes your power or validates their decision to compete for your energy. If this message hits your spirit, hype this video so more chosen ones like you can find it. The psychological weight of constantly measuring themselves against your standard becomes unbearable. They start projecting their internal struggle onto external circumstances. They convince themselves that if you would just acknowledge their worth, validate their importance, or choose them above others, their inner turmoil would finally cease. They believe that proximity to your energy will heal wounds they've never properly addressed, fill voids they've never learned to fill independently, and provide the self-worth they've never developed through their own growth and self-reflection. The second stage escalates when positioning fails to secure the exclusive access they crave. Unable to win through merit or genuine connection, they resort to sabotage. This is where the game becomes truly dangerous. They begin collecting information about your other relationships, studying your interactions with others like intelligence operatives, gathering data on enemy assets. Every conversation becomes an opportunity to plant seeds of doubt about someone else's loyalty, reliability, or understanding of your true nature. The sabotage operates through sophisticated psychological manipulation designed to isolate you from everyone except themselves. They'll share carefully edited versions of conversations that cast others in suspicious light. They'll forget to pass along invitations or important information that would strengthen your bonds with their competitors. They'll create situations where they look heroic while others appear unreliable, all while maintaining plausible deniability about their role in orchestrating these scenarios. The tactics become increasingly elaborate as they develop what can only be described as an obsession with controlling the narrative around your relationships. They study your interactions with others like intelligence operatives, noting who makes you laugh, who you confide in, who seems to understand you effortlessly. This information becomes weaponized as they craft strategies to undermine these connections while positioning themselves as the superior alternative. Some become masters of the backhanded compliment, praising your other friends in ways that simultaneously diminish them. She's so sweet, but she's not really operating at your level intellectually, they might say. Or, it's nice that he tries to understand your spiritual journey, even though he's still pretty unconscious. These comments are designed to plant seeds of doubt about whether your other relationships are truly fulfilling, or whether you're settling for connections that don't match your elevated consciousness. Others resort to manufacturing emergencies that require your immediate attention, strategically timed to conflict with plans you've made with their competitors. They develop an uncanny ability to have crises during important events in your other relationships, forcing you to choose between supporting them and maintaining your other commitments. When you choose to honor your prior obligations, they interpret this as evidence that you don't truly care about them, fueling their resentment and justifying even more manipulative behavior. The most sophisticated manipulators begin studying your value system and moral framework, then use this knowledge to create ethical dilemmas that make their competitors look bad while making themselves appear virtuous. If they know you value honesty, they'll create situations where others appear deceptive. If they know you appreciate loyalty, they'll orchestrate scenarios that make others seem disloyal. They become psychological architects, designing complex situations that naturally lead to outcomes favoring their position in your social hierarchy. What makes this phase particularly insidious is how they use your own values against you. They know you value authenticity, so they present their manipulation as evidence of others' deception. They know you appreciate loyalty, so they position themselves as your only truly faithful friend, while painting everyone else as fair-weather companions. They study your triggers and preferences like scientists, then weaponize that knowledge to manufacture scenarios that make their competitors look incompatible with your standards. The psychological warfare reaches fever pitch when they realize that sabotage isn't securing the exclusive relationship they desire. At this point, their masks begin slipping as desperation overrides their carefully maintained facades. They start making demands instead of requests, expressing anger when you don't prioritize them above others, creating emotional scenes designed to guilt you into compliance with their possessive agenda. This is when their true addiction to your energy becomes impossible to hide. They've become psychological vampires who require regular doses of your attention, validation, and approval to maintain their emotional equilibrium. When you're unavailable or focused on other relationships, they experience something resembling withdrawal symptoms, anxiety, irritability, depression, and an obsessive need to regain access to your energy source. The addiction manifests in increasingly disturbing ways, as they lose the ability to function normally without regular contact with you. They may start showing up uninvited to places where they know you'll be, claiming coincidence while obviously having planned these encounters. They begin monitoring your social media obsessively, analyzing every post for clues about your emotional state and your relationships with others. Some escalate to stalking behavior, driving by your home or workplace, finding excuses to be in your vicinity, even when they haven't been invited. The psychological dependency reaches pathological levels when they start experiencing your other relationships as personal attacks against them. Every friend you spend time with represents a threat to their supply. Every person who makes you laugh is stealing something that belongs to them. Every individual who provides you with support or understanding is a competitor in a game they believe they must win to survive emotionally. Their desperation creates a distortion field around them that affects everyone in their proximity. They begin alienating mutual friends through their increasingly erratic behavior, creating drama where none existed, starting conflicts over imagined slights, and demanding that people choose sides in battles that exist only in their minds. The social chaos they generate serves a dual purpose. It eliminates potential competitors, while creating situations where you might need their support to navigate the turbulence they've created. Here's where everything accelerates toward inevitable destruction. The third stage begins when their competition becomes so intense that they start attacking each other directly, abandoning any pretense of caring about your well-being or happiness. They're no longer competing for your approval. They're fighting for survival in a game where second place means complete elimination from your energy source. The direct warfare phase is where their true nature gets exposed to everyone, including you. Someone who's been subtly undermining others for months suddenly launches open attacks, publicly questioning their competitors' motives, reliability, and right to maintain friendship with you. Others respond by revealing the manipulations they've witnessed, sharing evidence of sabotage and deception that's been accumulating beneath the surface. The careful strategies they've employed begin unraveling as people realize they've all been playing the same game. But here's the plot twist that changes everything. This chaos isn't happening to you, it's happening around you while you remain completely untouchable at the center of the storm. Every attempt to manipulate you has failed, because your energy signature doesn't respond to artificial manipulation. Every effort to control you has backfired because chosen ones cannot be owned by inferior frequencies. Every strategy to possess you has collapsed, because your power grows stronger when people try to diminish it. The revelation that transforms everything is the recognition that this entire situation represents a cosmic sorting mechanism operating with mathematical precision. The universe has been using your energy as a catalyst to force everyone around you to reveal their true nature, their authentic character, their deepest motivations. Those who approached you with pure intentions remain calm and supportive throughout the chaos. Those who approached you with extractive agendas reveal themselves through their increasingly desperate and manipulative behavior. This isn't random social drama or coincidental relationship problems. This is karmic justice operating through your presence as a chosen one. Every person in your orbit is being forced to confront their unresolved issues, their unhealed wounds, their unconscious patterns of behavior that have been hidden beneath social conditioning and polite facades. Your energy signature doesn't create these problems. It simply makes them impossible to ignore or suppress any longer. The cosmic sorting process operates like a spiritual examination, revealing the true structure of every relationship in your life. Authentic connections become stronger under pressure, while parasitic attachments dissolve under scrutiny. People who genuinely appreciate you become more supportive and understanding, as they witness the chaos created by those who want to possess you. Meanwhile, those with hidden agendas expose themselves through their inability to handle the transparency your presence demands. The karmic element becomes undeniable as you observe how each person's actions return to them with amplified intensity. Those who spread lies find themselves caught in increasingly complex webs of deception that eventually trap them. Those who manipulate others discover that their tactics backfire and create the very isolation they were trying to impose on their competitors. Those who try to control your relationships find their own relationships crumbling as people recognize their manipulative nature. The revelation hits you like lightning. You were never the victim in this scenario. You were the catalyst, the testing ground, the cosmic examination that forced everyone to reveal their true character and motivations. Your presence didn't create their competitive nature. It simply exposed what was already there, hidden beneath social conditioning and polite facades. You became the mirror that reflected their deepest insecurities, their unhealed wounds, their desperate need for external validation. This is where the karmic reckoning accelerates beyond their ability to control or escape. The energy they invested in manipulation and competition begins consuming them from the inside. The lies they told to create conflicts get exposed. The relationships they sabotaged turn against them. The people they used as pawns in their game begin recognizing how they've been manipulated. The very social connections they were trying to control start dissolving as everyone realizes they've been played. The universe responds to their extractive behavior with mathematical precision. Those who tried to isolate you find themselves isolated. Those who spread lies about others' loyalty have their own loyalty questioned by everyone. Those who created drama discover that people avoid them to maintain peace. The energy they sent out returns multiplied, and they're forced to confront the consequences of their choices without the ability to blame external circumstances. But the karmic reckoning extends beyond simple retribution. It becomes a profound teaching mechanism that reveals the spiritual laws governing all relationships. Each person's downfall follows predictable patterns based on their specific methods of manipulation. Those who used emotional manipulation find themselves emotionally devastated when their tactics are exposed. Those who relied on deception discover that nobody trusts them anymore, leaving them socially isolated. Those who try to control others through fear find themselves living in constant anxiety as their carefully constructed facades crumble. Relationships that took years to build dissolve in weeks once the truth about people's motivations becomes clear. Reputations that seemed solid crumble overnight when their manipulative behavior gets exposed to mutual friends. Social networks that appeared stable fragment completely as people choose sides based on authentic character rather than superficial charm. Some experience what can only be described as a complete personality breakdown, as the energy they invested in maintaining false personas becomes unsustainable. The psychological effort required to manipulate multiple people simultaneously while presenting different faces to different audiences eventually exhaust their capacity to maintain coherent identity. They begin contradicting themselves, forgetting which lies they told to whom, and struggling to keep track of the complex webs of deception they've created. Others discover that their obsession with competing for your energy has consumed so much of their attention that they've neglected every other aspect of their lives. Careers suffer, families become estranged, personal health deteriorates, and creative projects get abandoned as all their resources get channeled into the futile attempt to possess something that was never meant to be owned. They wake up one day to find that their entire existence has become defined by their relationship to you, leaving them with no independent identity or autonomous purpose. Here's where your true nature as a chosen one becomes undeniable. The competition that raged around you wasn't random chaos. It was a cosmic sorting mechanism designed to separate authentic connections from parasitic attachments. Everyone who survived this purging process earned their place in your energy field through genuine appreciation rather than extractive agenda. The people who remain in your circle after this nuclear social explosion are fundamentally different from those who got eliminated. They never tried to compete for your attention because they recognized that your energy responds to appreciation, not desperation. They supported your other friendships because they understood that your power grows stronger when it's shared freely rather than hoarded possessively. They remained authentic throughout the chaos because they had nothing to hide and no agenda to protect. Your energy signature has been refined and amplified through this process. You've learned to recognize the early signs of competitive behavior before it escalates into sabotage. You've developed stronger boundaries and clearer discernment about people's true motivations. You've stopped unconsciously supporting relationships that drain your resources because you can now distinguish between those who appreciate your light and those who want to own it. You can now sense extractive intent within minutes of meeting someone new. You recognize the subtle signs of parasitic attachment, the way someone's energy immediately improves in your presence while deteriorating in your absence, the desperate quality in their voice when they haven't had access to you for a while, the calculated nature of their kindness that always comes with invisible strings attached. Your discernment has become so sharp that you can predict how people will behave in various situations based on their energy signature and motivational patterns. Those who approach you from scarcity will eventually become possessive and manipulative. Those who seek your energy to fill internal voids will become increasingly demanding and entitled. Those who view you as a status symbol will eventually betray your trust to elevate their own social position. But perhaps most importantly, you've learned to trust your initial intuitive responses to people, rather than allowing social conditioning to override your natural protective instincts. That uncomfortable feeling you get around certain individuals isn't paranoia or judgment. It's your soul recognizing energy that doesn't align with your highest good. The internal warnings you receive about specific people aren't random anxiety. They're your spiritual radar detecting potential threats to your energy field. The transformation has also enhanced your ability to attract and maintain authentic relationships. Your refined energy signature now operates like a beacon that draws in people who resonate with your frequency while repelling those who would seek to exploit your power. You no longer need to carefully screen potential friends or romantic partners, because your energy field automatically filters out incompatible connections before they can establish themselves in your life. This natural filtering system works because authentic people are attracted to authentic energy, while manipulative people are disturbed by energy they cannot control or extract from. Your presence becomes uncomfortable for those with hidden agendas because they sense that their usual tactics won't work on you. Meanwhile, people with genuine intentions feel immediately at ease around you because they recognize that you offer real connection rather than transactional relationship. But here's the most important realization. You've claimed your power without apology or explanation. You understand now that being chosen means accepting that your presence will trigger reactions in others that have nothing to do with you and everything to do with their unresolved issues. You cannot control how people respond to your energy, but you can control how you respond to their behavior. You've learned to stand firm in your worth without feeling responsible for others' inability to handle your frequency. The secret competition that once seemed like a threat has transformed into evidence of your power. Only inferior energies need to compete for access to superior frequencies. Only insecure people try to possess what they cannot generate independently. Only parasites mistake chosen ones for energy sources they can drain indefinitely. You were never in danger of losing anything real because everything authentic in your life is attracted to your power, rather than threatened by it. The hidden war was always about recognition, not others recognizing your worth, but you recognizing your own power and its effects on those around you. The friends who tried to possess you taught you that chosen ones cannot be owned. The people who competed for your energy showed you that your light cannot be shared with those who approach from scarcity. The chaos that surrounded you proved that your presence transforms everything it touches, whether people are ready for that transformation or not. Now you stand in complete ownership of your power, with the unshakable knowledge that comes from witnessing how lesser energies respond to superior frequencies. The competition is permanently over, because you've declared yourself the undisputed winner by refusing to participate in games designed by people who mistake your energy for their personal resource. You are the prize, and you've chosen yourself above all the desperate voices that once clamored for access to your light. The friends who survived your awakening process understand that proximity to your energy is a privilege, not a right. They approach you with appreciation rather than expectation, contribution rather than extraction, support rather than sabotage. They celebrate your other relationships because they recognize that your power grows stronger when it flows freely rather than being channeled through artificial restrictions. Your authentic relationships reveal themselves through their behavior during the chaos that eliminated the parasites from your life. While others were competing and manipulating, your real friends remained calm and supportive. They didn't try to take advantage of the drama to improve their position in your life. They didn't spread gossip or engage in the psychological warfare that consumed others. They simply continued being themselves, offering genuine support without demanding anything in return. The contrast between authentic and parasitic relationships becomes crystal clear when you observe how different people respond to your success, happiness, and growth. Real friends celebrate your victories without needing to make them about themselves. They support your expansion without feeling threatened by your evolution. They encourage your other relationships without feeling jealous or competitive. Their energy actually increases when you're thriving rather than depleting when you're not available to feed their emotional needs. Your daily reality now reflects your conscious ownership of Chosen One status. People sense your sovereign energy before they even speak to you. They recognize that you cannot be manipulated, controlled, or possessed by anyone operating from inferior frequency. They either rise to meet your standard or eliminate themselves from your presence through their own behavior. The transformation is complete, Chosen One. You've evolved from an unconscious catalyst of others' insecurities into a conscious wielder of transformative power. You understand that being chosen means accepting the responsibility that comes with superior energy while refusing to apologize for possessing what others lack. You've learned to be the sun that shines at full intensity regardless of how the planets respond to your radiance. Your daily interactions now reflect this conscious ownership of your power. When someone approaches you with extractive intent, you recognize it immediately and respond with appropriate boundaries. When people try to manipulate or control you, their tactics bounce off your energy field like arrows hitting a shield. When others attempt to create drama or competition around you, you remain centered in your truth, while the chaos swirls harmlessly around your unshakable core. The mastery you've developed extends beyond just protecting yourself from energy vampires. You've become capable of consciously channeling your power to uplift and transform those who are ready to receive genuine healing and growth. Your presence now serves as a catalyst for positive change in people who approach you with authentic hearts and genuine desire for evolution. You can sense the difference between those who want to use your energy for selfish purposes and those who are ready to be transformed by your light for the benefit of all. I must interrupt this transmission for just a moment. Are you really chosen? Prove it. It's easy to watch videos about chosen ones. It's another thing to put yourself to the test. If you're still here, that means something, but talk is cheap. Real chosen ones take action. That's why I built Destiny Engine. It generates personalized sequences that help you rewire betrayal into transcendence, turn isolation into sacred power, and transform their downfall into your rise. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology that programmed competition and scarcity, and repurposing it to serve divine justice. The beauty is you don't even have to lift a finger. You put on the headphones, press play, and watch your enemies choke on the rope their own lies created. If you're done consuming and ready to prove you're chosen, start your Destiny Engine for $1 today, join the Obsidian Inner Order live checks, and watch divine justice accelerate in your life. Link in the description. This conscious wielding of power makes you exponentially more effective in all areas of life. Projects you're involved in succeed because your energy signature attracts success and repels sabotage. Relationships you choose to maintain become deeper and more fulfilling because they're based on mutual empowerment rather than extraction. Opportunities flow to you naturally because you no longer waste energy on people and situations that drain your resources. You've also learned to use your power strategically, understanding when to fully engage your energy and when to conserve it for more worthy recipients. You no longer feel obligated to give everyone equal access to your gifts, recognizing that your energy is precious and should be shared only with those who will use it wisely. This selective sharing doesn't make you selfish. It makes you a responsible steward of the divine power you've been entrusted with. The ripple effects of your transformation extend far beyond your immediate relationships as you model what it looks like to own your power unapologetically. You give permission for other chosen ones to step into their authentic strength. Your example shows them that they don't need to dim their light to make others comfortable, that they can maintain their boundaries without guilt, and that they can demand genuine respect rather than settling for parasitic attachment. The secret competition that once threatened to destroy your relationships has become the foundation of your greatest strength. You know now that only authentic connections can survive proximity to chosen one energy. You know that parasites eliminate themselves when they cannot extract what they came to steal. You know that your power is not diminished by others' inability to handle your frequency. It's confirmed by their desperate attempts to possess what they cannot generate. This is your new reality. Chosen one, sovereign, unshakable, and absolutely untouchable by those who mistake your light for their personal energy source. The game is over. And you've won by refusing to play by rules designed by people who never understood that chosen ones don't compete. They dominate through the simple act of being authentically, unapologetically themselves.